You know, if you're going to make an argument about sex-segregated spaces, you need to talk about the issue, the real issue, and not trivialize the issue. And so, Kelly J. Keene was talking about school toilets, and on her video this morning, I usually don't talk about other people, but she makes a mistake of talking about embarrassment, you know, when girls get into adolescence, and the embarrassment of having to change pads, and the embarrassment of peeing and pooping, and worrying about the guys hearing it and laughing at it, or, you know, that kind of stuff. That it's their comfort and their embarrassment. No, it is not. When you start talking, you start trivializing the issue by talking about discomfort or discomfited, another word I despise, or embarrassment, you've lost the issue. Because you know what? The GI crowd's going to say, you better get used to it. Gender neutral or co-ed toilets are the law or whatever. We're going to do this, and you better just suck it up and take it. Your feelings are not important to our civil rights. See the problem? You can't trivialize something like this. I about blew my stack when I saw that video. And the commenters didn't understand the issue either. They're not segregated. These spaces are not segregated because of feelings of embarrassment and comfort. They're segregated because of public safety. That's why. Any time that a man goes in, no matter, or a boy goes into a women's space, they are predators. They are perverts. They're only in there to predate and to perv. And it doesn't matter what they dress like. They're not in there for validation. Another word that needs to go in the trash can. They're in there to perv. See, not everybody who cross-dresses goes into women's spaces. Not every man who does that goes in there. So they're not a predator, are they? You might not like what they do. Their choice of clothing or actions or whatever. But if they're going in the men's room and they're men, then there's no problem. They're not a predator and they're not a perv. But the minute they cross the boundary, that's what they are. And not only are they predators and pervs, they're criminals. So if you can't talk about the issue clearly and succinctly, and you keep talking about embarrassment and comfort, nobody gives a shit. That's not the issue. So stop talking about it and trivializing it. This is safety. And if it's in schools, let me tell you, school districts are sitting ducks for lawsuits as it is. Why fuel the flames of lawsuits by allowing boys to come into girls' spaces? Because that's what you're allowing. You're giving the green light to sexual assault. So stop. Like I said, this isn't about embarrassment and comfort. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Oh, no. They're scared to death. They're scared to death. Because girls and women are taught from the time they're itty bitty that they have to be on guard all the time. And to the point where it's paranoia and they don't even have a functional life because they're scared to death to do anything on their own. So, yeah. Stop trivializing what the issue is. So if you're pro-women's rights, you better be clear on what the issue is before you shoot your mouth off talking about comfort and embarrassment. Because that's got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with it. It's got everything to do with safety and liability. Anyway, speaking of safety, some dude that I think he got himself breast implants and all this shit. And he was on the female cheerleading camp. And he was cited for choking out a teammate, a girl, or a young woman, who called him a man with a penis at cheer camp, as a video taken afterwards shows the attacker saying, "I barely touched her." Yeah. So this dude is in hot water legally. So let's look at it. And this is the thing. It isn't a matter of comfort. It's a matter of safety. A man was kicked out of a Texas college cheer camp after he allegedly attacked a teammate who called him a man with a penis. And then this Avery Chanel Medlock. Don't you just love these goddamn porn names? 25 was booted from the Ranger College cheerleading camp in Texas and given a criminal assault by physical contact citation last week. He is accused of choking a 17-year-old teammate, only identified by her first name, Carly, as he claimed told the truth about him. The girl and other teammates allegedly locked themselves in a locker room to hide from the raging Medlock, who claimed that he was being targeted for his race and sex. Well, they were scared to death of him. Now, was that uncomfortable? Was that embarrassment? They were scared shitless of that man. And take a look at this dude. Let's have a picture of him. Yeah, look at the great big thighs. Look at the goddamn shoulders on that guy. And his voice, hey, and if that ain't enough, his voice is dude all the way. But look at the massive, massive shoulders on this critter, on this guy. And Ranger College said the school was opening a Title IX investigation into the incident. Oh, but he was so persecuted. And what kills me is the stupid commenters. 95% of the damn commenters on here were asking what a 25-year-old was doing in college. I thought, where the hell are you at? Where the hell have you been the last 40 years? There are literally millions upon millions of college students who are past the ages of 18 to 22 and are often in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s who are back in school, retraining for other jobs, or going back after taking time off to be in the military, or, God forbid, if they were stupid enough to get married and have kids young, and they went back. Lots of people did it. I did it. I got my bachelor's degree at 36. It took me longer than 4 years because I had to work. And I got my master's at 45. And I'm not unusual. But that's what most of these comments were about. Well, what the hell was he doing even being in college? What's a 25-year-old doing in college? And then, besides the fact, well, what's the 25-year-old doing as a cheerleader? Instead of saying, what's a male doing on a female cheerleading squad? Or you could ask, why the hell are there cheerleading squads to begin with? Because that's kind of an anachronism, like beauty pageants. So anyway, this guy got in trouble. So we'll find out what happens to old Avery. I'd like to know what his real name is. And yeah, but he was, and there were witnesses. From the other side of the door, female voices could be heard telling Medlock, "You're a man. You have a penis." And did that make him uncomfortable that he was in there? No, they were scared to death. And especially as you saw the pictures there, he's burly looking dude with great big arms, great big shoulders, powerful legs. Hell, that's nothing female there. And definitely not his voice, if nothing else. So anyway, yeah, the issue is safety and liability. Those are the issues. Safety and liability. You make them one issue or two separate issues. It's not about whether women's convenience of feeling comfortable or not being embarrassed. That's not why those spaces exist. They exist for safety reasons, because men are violent. There's a hell of a lot of them. There are a hell of a lot of them who are perverts. And women have the right to be away from perverted men, criminal men, fetishistic men. Anyway, that is it.